To set this drill up, we're going to be using agility cones to help with spacing, as well as our reactive stretch cord to help with that overspeed assisted sprint portion. First, you're going to set up 3 cones in a line about 5 to 8 feet apart. And last, we're going to be putting that deep agility cone about 15 to 20 feet away so that we can really stretch out the stretch cord and then pull with that assisted sprint from side to side. Now that we've got the cone set up, let's go ahead and clip up the reactive stretch cord and get ready to move through the drill. Athletes, as we begin, make sure that you've got your chest forward slightly on the back pedals so that we can keep our balance and push into the resistance, powering back to that deep agility cone. Next, we're going to be reading the anchors. We're going to be going either left or right, mixing it up each individual rep and being explosive, sprinting past the cone into a nice overspeed sprint. Anchors, it's important that we keep our defensive players guessing. As they reach that deep cone, you can either take them to the left or to the right, but they're going to read your body movement, and as soon as you take off sprinting, they're going to be following you in that direction as well. Remember, the reactive stretch cord will stretch out to be about 20 feet, so this is going to give us our max assistance for our sprint out to each corner. One important thing to remember during this drill is that our anchors need to really work to get out towards that cone. We want to make sure that we're pulling our athletes in a straight line, so get out and pull them just a little bit, giving them that little bit of overspeed, that assisted sprint, and then go ahead and drop the cord if you need to, taking it away from the athlete so they don't trip on the cord. Sprint should be at max speed. As you reach the back, we need to make sure that we keep our chest forward and really explosively sprint through the cone on each individual angle. Without intensity and focus on each individual sprint, you're never going to increase your speed. So make sure that each rep you're moving explosively as you can, powering through, working on the balls of our feet to sprint through the cone. Work through 6 to 8 assisted reps, mixing up both the left and the right angle, and then follow it up with 2 to 4 unresisted reps, really working to maintain that good form and sprinting out as fast as we can without the resistance. The assisted figure 8 drill is going to be a great way for us to build that body control as well as work on a bit of overspeed training to help us accelerate out of quick turns. First thing you're going to need to do is create 2 small circles right next to each other, creating that figure 8 with about 3 to 4 feet width in between the circles. This way we can work on small choppy steps, keeping our center as we make our turns. Next, we're going to be training with our reactive stretch cord, helping provide resistance in different angles as we explosively move around the figure 8. The resistance is going to be coming from different angles, helping us keep the drill a little bit more game-like. Athletes, you're going to begin at the top right or top left of the crazy 8. Equal reps on either side, so it doesn't matter where you begin. Anchors, we're going to start about 7 to 8 feet away from the athlete so that we can really start with the resistance as soon as they move. We don't want any slack in the stretch cord. We want to be right in the resistance from the minute we take off to the end of the rep. Anchors, notice that we're going to have some mobility during this drill. We're going to be starting dead center and then walk out towards the sprint side to apply the assistance to our athletes. Be sure that you're utilizing the safety strap so as you move in these different angles, you're going to have a good grip and we're not going to have any safety issues. Staying explosive during this drill is key, so be sure that you're using about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes in between reps while we're working explosively through each individual turn. Keep your center, allowing the 360 D-ring to wrap around your body easily as we round each individual curve. Athletes, as you approach the last turn, you're going to notice that your anchor is where you're going to be heading. So round that last turn, drop your chest and accelerate on through the assisted sprint. You're going to complete 3 resisted reps from both the left and the right so that we've got equal turns. Next, lose the reactive stretch cord and complete 2 reps from both sides without any assistance or resistance added to your rep. Remember, we don't want to move into braking or overstriding during any of our sprints, so we just need the right amount of assistance to help us build the speed. No more than 10 to 15% assistance is all you need to find success with overspeed training. The X drill is easy to set up. We're going to set up 4 agility cones to help with our spacing, with about 6 to 8 feet in between each individual cone. Next, we're going to make sure that we've got our reactive stretch cord belt nice and tight so that we can allow that 360 ring to slide all the way around our body as we move in this multi-directional movement around the box. First things first, athletes are going to get in the ready position. Anchors about 7 to 8 feet away from them so that we've got a little bit of tension to begin. Athletes next, you're going to explosively sprint as fast as you can to that top right cone, breaking down with a patter step and immediately moving into a lateral shuffle. As soon as you come to this cone, now it's time that we drop and turn. As you accelerate to that last cone, notice you're going to have that side resistance coming from you. This is going to be great for helping us keep our center as we explosively sprint to that last cone. Now as we approach the last cone, it's time that we work on our feet and explosively sprint out about 10 to 15 yards. This is a great multi-directional drill, so it's very important that anchors, you're being very active to provide the right amount of resistance in the right places. Remember, the reactive stretch cord stretches 20 feet, so you need to make sure that you're working within that range to provide the right amount of resistance at the right time. Through the second agility portion, it's important that we slide just a little bit. You're going to be down at that bottom base, and as they sprint up, we're giving them that resistance. Now as they come towards us, we want to get in a little bit more of a position to where we're giving them assistance for the lateral shuffle. This is going to make sure that they're really keeping their center of balance. Now as they drop step to that third cone, now we're in a better position to provide a little bit more of a resisted sprint or a little bit of an angled resisted sprint, again helping us keep our center while we're moving. And finally, that last cone, it's important that the anchors are now down at the baseline of the box, really working to accelerate the athletes. Be active, be mobile. If you pull the cord, be sure that you're ready to hustle up and get out of the way and keep the stretch cord out of the way of their feet. Athletes, be explosive. It's going to take it out of you, so make sure that you keep your rest periods near 2 minutes so that we can completely get our legs back, working explosively at each individual turn on the X drill. This drill should only be done in small groups. Too long of rest periods will kind of defeat the whole purpose. So make sure that we're doing group sizes of no more than 4 to 6. If we're working with more athletes than that, go ahead and spread it out into more small groups. With this drill, keep the structure nice and simple. If you don't have a long day of agility work, push it to 8 to 10 reps, 5 on each side for the assisted sprints. The stretch cord is going to be great for providing resistance as we jump through and build power in our hips. Athletes, be sure that you strap your belt on nice and tight. We don't want anything loose because as we jump up through the resistance, we really want it to stay right on our center of gravity. Athletes, you're going to pull that stretch cord down to where it's nice and taut under your foot and stand on it to provide the resistance for each jump. Anchors, be conscious of the athlete. As they jump, they're getting resistance, which is slightly going to pull them back if they're not adjusting each and every rep. So keep that hand up on their back and be ready for them just in case they come your way so we can keep their bodies off our legs and stay safe. To optimize our verticals with the tuck jump, it's very important that we provide the right amount of resistance. The key is to make sure that the athlete can hit the ground and immediately get back off the ground. Any more resistance than this or hesitations on the ground, we completely defeat the purpose of the overload principle we're going for. So we're using power in our hips to jump up through the resistance, and then we have to immediately get off the ground and be quick to really work that plyometric effect that's going to help us improve our vertical. Tuck jump's got to be quick. We're going 6 to 8 resisted reps right off the ground with a little bit of an extended rest period to maintain your explosiveness. Rest for about 1.5 minutes, but no more than 2 minutes, and then jump right back in for your 3 to 4 resisted sets. Next, you're going to move into 2 unresisted sets. So unclip the resistance band, give yourself some space, and really explode up, driving your knees up and utilizing our arms each and every rep to really keep that good technique in jumping form. Remember, your vertical will never improve unless you're working at 100% intensity. Drive your knees up. That's very important for the tuck jump, and get off the ground as high as you can each and every rep. Remember, to be explosive and powerful in sprinting or jump height, it's important that we can maintain our center of gravity. With the reactive stretch cord lateral bounds, we're going to be challenging our center as we move explosively through resistance and assistance. The first sequence, we're going to set up 2 agility cones, challenging ourselves with the distance to laterally bound as far as we can, explosively from side to side. Now remember, the assistance is going to be provided on the way back to the anchor, and the resistance is going to be provided on the way away from the anchor. So it's very important that we really set those cones at a distance that we can challenge ourselves each individual jump. You're going to be completing 2 rounds with the anchor on each individual side to give us a little bit of variety and different angles to each of the lateral bounds. Next, we're going to bring in a 3rd agility cone, again spacing them to challenge our jump distances. Another 2 reps from the anchor on the left and the right, working to really catch, center yourself, switch your feet, and explosively jump to that last cone, switch your feet, and then come back again. The second sequence, we're going to bring in a 3rd cone, once again challenging ourselves with those distances. You're probably going to need to be doing your lateral bounds slightly behind the cones, because remember, with the assistance, you're going to be able to jump a little bit farther, and with resistance, we're going to have to be moving against the resistance, shortening our jump slightly. Complete 2 more rounds with the anchor on the left as well as the right, making sure that we're keeping that center of balance and moving explosively each individual lateral bound. With this sequence, we're going to be catching on a foot, switching our feet, and then moving again to that same side. Don't worry about trying to switch those feet too fast or get yourself flustered. Power is the #1 key here. That's what we're focusing on. So take the time to get the foot set and explosively jump to the next cone. Now that we've overloaded our senses with the assisted reps, as well as getting more muscle activation through the resistance, now it's time that we move in to getting our center with our own bodies. Get rid of the reactive stretch cord and move through the same sequence, all unresisted, being more powerful and more explosive each individual rest. Make sure that we still maintain those rest periods and really work to get out and pass each individual cone, being explosive with each lateral bound. The reactive stretch cord lateral bounds is a great way for you to work on your center of gravity while being explosive. Remember, more power will increase your sprint speed as well as your vertical. So focus on this drill and make sure that you've got the reps and sets down before moving on to any other drill.